Hello, everyone. My name is Nick. I'm the DM of the Shattered Kingdoms campaign, and today I'm joined by Jonathan, who is here to talk about their character Azul. And is there anything you want to say, Jonathan? Introduce
Hey
yourself.
guys, hey everybody. I'm Jonathan. If you've watched any of the other videos, I'm usually playing Scully. I'm talking about my last character from the campaign we didn't record, Azul.
Yep, that is a good distinction to make here. We are starting off with the characters that we did from last campaign, which isn't a campaign that we recorded, but a lot of the our characters from that campaign, they're still like major players in what's going on in our current campaign, which is why I thought it would make sense to start off with our old characters here. And it's kind of like a linear way of doing things since they came first. But Jonathan, could you kind of explain Azul's backstory for everyone?
So Azul is a half-orc who was raised by a band of dwarven mercenaries. His backstory basically went that he was found by them when he was abandoned as a child, and they raised him like a dwarf. And so he is this about 7 foot tall half orc who, in all ways, thinks of himself as a dwarf.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
He was very adamant that he was a dwarf and not anything
well, yeah.
else.
I, I mean, they raised Carrot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they did raise him. And it was a very interesting thing with his character. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Was there anything else you wanted to say
No,
about?
not really.
Okay.
That was really his back.
Yep, he's
Simple.
raised by dwarf half orc, found by dwarven mercenaries and raised by them. Pretty simple enough. And what was Azul's character class?
Azul was a fighter. A subclass was battleman. He was a
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat that one more time for me, please,
uh,
Jonathan?
Azul was a fighter. His subclass was battlemaster.
Yep. Subclass battle. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that to me. I totally forgot that that was his uh subclass.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Doesn't
used
that
to
give him
push people off
oh,
of. It gives him like special effects add to his attack, a
mm-hmm.
little bit of extra damage. My favorite thing to do with it was there's one that allows you people. I used to push people off of cliffs, buildings.
Yeah. I don't recall you pushing too many people off of things though.
Well, to be fair, it only really happened on the airship,
Ah. Oh
and
yeah.
that thing could never stay in the air for very long.
No. Yeah, no, the airship definitely could not stay in the air very long. I mean, to be fair, have any of the airships that I have had in my campaigns remained airborne for that long?
Not any that have transported the party.
That is true. It's always like, it's either you're just using it for fast travel or boom, you've crashed.
Yeah, and then at some point you crash the airship. Is a decent way to strand people. Location.
Yep.
I'm not arguing.
Yeah. Are you saying it's a bit too annoying to do or?
No, no, no. It's a great way to strand. If you want to someone, or
Hmm.
clearly ways to stakes down the airship is the way to go. Just next campaign, maybe we'll decide not to take the airship because they're apparently reliable.
Yep, the most unreliable form of transportation. It's also probably like one of the fastest modes of transportations available. It's not, at least excluding like magical forms
Oh,
of
I'm sure. Yeah,
transportation.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So airship tangent aside here, why did you choose Azul for this first campaign? Like, what made you choose this character?
Magic seemed complicated, and I wanted to be tall.
That is
I like
perfect.
um I like the dwarven values of loyalty, sticking
Hmm.
by people kind of things, but they're too short.
Yeah.
And I be somebody tall, and magic was complicated, and Fido seemed vastly simpler to start off with.
Yeah.
And so I went Fido, one half orc.
It's a good reason. I mean, my first character, Nicus, barbarian, picked him for basically similar reasons. With the magic is complicated.
Hmm. And it was the very first
It was a very, very,
character I had ever made, so I didn't want to mess with.
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. It's first character, so you don't want to make anything like too out there or too fancy.
Yeah, I just wanted something basic.
I can definitely get behind that. That's basically what I did with Nicus, just plain and simple. But and let's get back to your character. Let's get back to Azul here. What would you say is one defining trait about Azul?
I mentioned loyalty earlier. That's really okay. Well, that's one of his. If I had to pick
Hmm.
one, it would actually probably be because out of everyone in the party, Azul was the guy in most cases, even when his plans were, "Hey, let me go blow that up,"
Hmm.
um, or threaten somebody way outside of my power.
Yep.
But he always had a plan, so I would say cunning, but also
Ah.
probably loyalty. Because
Okay, so it's kind of between cunning and loyalty. But
yeah,
yeah, I can definitely see both of those. I mean, loyalty definitely being raised by dwarves, and generally the kind of loyalty to the party that he seemed to show throughout the campaign. Cunning, yes, you did seem to be the one that was making most of the plans from what I remember of the first campaign. And I would argue that your characters still antagonize people outside of their power level. Although I guess
oh yeah. I
Azul
mean,
doesn't have to worry about that too much anymore.
yeah, it is kind of hard,
Yeah, when you're a god, it's kind of hard to mess with people above your power level.
but yeah, I mean, that is still kind of something. At
Yeah,
least Scully does.
yeah, Scully still does, and Azul did that in the first campaign, the threatening people outside of their power level.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can get people to believe you can
Yep.
do.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Scully threatened to Tarask at one point
Oh,
in
I
our current game.
absolutely yes. I threatened the Trask, told her that she needed to go to marriage.
Yeah, you did. And we didn't record that, but she did go.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
Yes,
Absolute
that was a
fire.
disaster. That was a disaster of a role. Well, it was a fun role play, but it was
Yeah,
definitely a kind of out there. But yeah. So that's minor spoilers, I guess, for the campaign if you haven't already seen it. You'll have to watch the campaign to see what we're talking about and see Scully. Um,
yeah. I'd tell you when it was, but I have no.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I could tell you what it was. Going through the episodes, I could probably tell you which episode it was, but I could not give you like a timestamp or anything like that. So yeah, sorry. Sorry, I'm going a bit too much into Scully here, which he'll have his own video at some point here. So back to Azul here. Which NPC would you say that Azul likes the least?
Okay, so you use current present tense. So in the current campaign, that comes down to Woodburn and Casimir.
Okay,
Uh,
both of those make sense.
in the past campaign, I mean, probably Tyrion. So Dongle was a joke, but
Yes.
he never elevated himself to the level of, and so Azul never put in any energy disliking him. I mean, he put energy into making him look like a fool,
Hmm.
told his goblin cult spread rumors, make him look like an idiot.
Yeah. I forgot about the
But to anything,
goblin cult spreading rumors.
yeah, yeah. And then I denied all knowledge.
Yep.
And Dongle kind of liked Azul, um, because Azul lied to him a
Hmm.
lot.
Hmm.
So Dongle kind of liked Azul, but he was never any threat. If he had been, Azul would
Yeah.
have killed him in battle with Tyrion and blamed
Yep.
Tyrion.
Well, I mean, instead, Azul's turtle Valem paid Tin to assassinate him.
Yeah, so see, it all worked itself out.
Uh, so then, on that topic, do you mind telling everyone a little bit about Valem? You're
Hello?
kind of hello.
What'd you say?
I was to
I
say
missed the beginning.
on that note, do you mind telling everyone a bit about Valem? Your kind of like pet world-eating turtle.
Okay, so yeah, so it started out. Um, Nick, other Nick,
Yep.
he plays Tabby, and I always get his name wrong. Um, one of those two wanted a bow,
Yeah.
and so you arranged for us all to pick up an animal,
Yep.
and I like turtle, so I picked up this snapping turtle, loosely based him on kaiju called Gamma,
Okay.
and then Xylon, the bard,
Mhm.
played by Josh, he picked up a flute that allowed him to talk to animals. And so I already had a history of irritating Xylon with animals. So the turtle goes and hides in his bedroom and bites him. He tries to talk to the turtle, and I thought it was hilarious to pull like that noise, and then it just kind of spiraled from there because like I pull out this deep gravelly voice, so I have to make him talk like
Yeah.
he owned that voice, and then it
Mhm.
spiraled from there.
Yeah. I like how that like Balaam just
Him with this
started
whole
off as
crazy back about
yep.
at least
I'm sorry. I
yeah.
just like that it's started off as just meant to annoy Xylon.
Well, I mean, yeah, I
So you've been
I've been doing
cutting out
that
a bit
all
here.
campaign.
Yep.
I've been doing that all campaign because Xylon had done some things that annoyed me, so I was being petty.
Yeah. Yep. Zool was definitely very petty in regards to Xylon. He just
Yeah, so
could
it
not.
all started out there, and then it started spiraling, and then you added to it by letting me do things.
Yes, that is something that I'm definitely always guilty of,
Had
is
like Valem popping
letting.
into places that he wasn't supposed to, and then
Yep.
And so then he was popping into places, like places he was in rooms
Hmm.
when we walked in the door when he wasn't supposed to be there, or like stepping out from behind people's shadows that he and so it just kept spiraling out of there. And then like Tyrion started talking in our heads, and so I had Balaam talking in his head.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Tyrion did not
And it
like
just kind of
that.
went from there.
Yep. And
Yeah,
now he's
and like
like,
Balaam would always introduce himself like he did at the in the
hmm,
last episode,
yep.
and that was always how I
I'm
would
sorry,
begin. It was a lot of fun. Still,
you cut out there. Can you do the Balaam's introduction one more time here?
mm-hmm. I am Balaam.
Yep. Thank you. I got it that time. Just
Yeah,
wanted to
that
make
is
sure that
Moto
the
on the.
audience can hear it. I know what Balaam sounds like. I've heard him a lot, but
Yeah, that is Moto on the throat, by the way.
yes, yes, I imagine it is. What was it? I'm pretty sure that there's a character in um I think one of the other campaigns that I wasn't the DM of. I tried to do a voice somewhat like that, and it lasted for all of one session because I couldn't maintain it.
I think it might have been.
Nanable, I think, right?
Yeah, and I think it lasted like a session, and then
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was like when
it
I have to drink like four
Adeline's
bottles of
character.
water in just a session, you can't you can't do that voice.
Yeah, that
It,
was why. That's part of the reason Balaam doesn't talk.
yep.
I think his little speech
Yeah, he gives his little
at
speeches
General was
and
the longest.
then yep. All right. Let's see here. And before I move on to the next question here, do you mind explaining the goblin cult a bit for everyone? 'Cause that was
Okay,
probably one of the
that was
most
on
interesting things.
entirely okay. So we're wandering down, and well, in a strange city. Strange things are happening, and we see some goblins, and they worked for somebody,
Hmm.
and they clearly hadn't been paid, and well, lived right next to life. He knows how goblins work. They're
Hmm.
greedy, and he wants spy, and so he pays, tells them, keep your eyes out, and meet up with me next to our house. We
Hmm.
had just be around, make sure one of you. And I walk away, and because it was like the most money they ever been paid, they went and they got their friends. And so I come around next time and there's five of them.
Yep.
And I go, hey. And then they're acting, calling me the go giver, acting a little weird, but all right, whatever. I figure I'm paying them. Come back next time, there's 20 of them. And they've started like to me. And this is starting to get out of hand, but Azul's not going to do anything about him. The more they want to serve him, the better. And
Yeah.
then I come back another time, and you've added 14 because every time I came back, you'd roll a d20 to see how many
Yes, I remember doing that just every
up.
time.
And so you've
I
added another 14. And they're in ceremonial dress now. And
yeah.
I realized, okay, fine, fine. So I organized my goblin cult
Uh,
that I now have. And
yep.
it was manageable at that point. And then you introduced a subplot
Yep.
where the daughter of the Dwarven King was in love with the daughter of the goblin, with the son of the Goblin King.
Hmm.
Is goblins and dwarves can't be together because their gods mutually hate each other. And by this time, they worship God. And myself, oh, I know someone that.
Hmm.
Oh, okay,
So you ba
fine. And so I go and I get the high priest gold giver and I bring him around. I'm like, go convert these people. And Azul hates every minute of not a fan of any of this. He's like,
uh, so like one of
convert
the
these people because and by that time we knew the end of the world was so we needed like united. He was like,
yep.
fine, go convert them. Go. And I walk away. Well,
Yep.
the Azul walked away with a headache. This whole thing was
Yeah. And
a massive headache for us. He didn't like it.
yeah, he didn't like it. That was all too much for him. And in all fairness, the son of the Goblin King and the daughter of the Dwarven King, that subplot, other Nick, helped me come up with that idea. So
You know,
he, yeah,
seems like the romantic type. I figured it just
yeah,
seems a little more his. So that
uh,
makes sense. So it's his fault as well. I'll just keep
yes,
that in
that is the
mind.
whole point of me pointing that out, is that it's not entirely my fault. The goblin cult's spiraling out of control to the level of it where it is now, to the point where Azul is a god and probably one of the more important gods in the Shattered Kingdoms. That's
Yeah,
entirely.
I run the whole Goblin Legion now,
Yep. All
and that was just
goblins.
the necessity because I you show up there and a god and all these doors you gotta take over.
Yep. You just completely usurped all of the power from the other goblin gods.
I keep
Just
most of.
you keep most of them around.
Yeah, they help me with paperwork,
Uh,
delegation. You know, there's a lot of
uh,
stuff in the Goblin Pantheon, so I just kind of delegated it. I got one whose whole job is explosion.
explosion. That is great.
Yeah, that's his whole job. And then I got another. I like for the most part, I don't actually let them do the paperwork because I'm bad at it.
Hmm.
But I keep some around. I have to keep an eye on them though because they also like
Yeah,
all
they're.
of the goblins are. Think I should charge.
Hmm.
It's exhausting them all.
Yeah, they all think they should
By the
be in
way, this was
charge.
not my edition. All of
Hmm.
this was
All of this was what?
well, the goblins thinking I should be in charge. That's another thing you did, not me. Okay, just in case anyone's wondering, I am not just like Bill tricking people into this. This is mostly on you because
Yeah,
you
this
keep
is.
finding
Hmm.
these things funny.
Yes, I do. And I have a habit of giving like too much just because I find it interesting. And in some cases that has led to very bad things. But for the most part, it leads to fun, which is the most
Yeah,
important
and for
thing.
the most part, I try not to abuse. That's why
Yep.
I have Balaam like Tyrion.
Mhm.
Although Tyrion easier to pay to be spells that block you there.
Yeah.
But I think we got a couple of. I know I puked
Yeah.
spider, so that was.
Yeah, the battle against Tyrion probably wasn't as long as everyone was expecting. Probably
Yeah. You know,
wasn't as.
sometimes that turns out. It just turns out that
Yeah. Well,
it's
I mean
better than it
that's.
going the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah, it's better than that than everyone dies, which was what I remember happening like when I had everyone fight Kaz that one time.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean, we didn't die, but yeah, we did all.
yeah, you all got knocked out, and then
He
I
was on
think
my list.
yeah, and wasn't it like Tin talked him out of killing everyone or something like that?
Yeah, because we
Yeah,
tried to out.
Yeah, that was my attempt at trying
Spiral.
to do a good like boss battle, and I'm like,
It was
oh,
it was a
this
pretty
is a
good.
bit too
I mean,
hard.
it was a good boss battle. It was a
Yeah, too
little
hard.
too much. I
Yeah,
think like he had. I think like if he hadn't had, I think he had Spider Man,
yeah.
we could have
Uh,
focused him more readily.
yeah. Yeah, we've talked about a lot here. I've actually lost my place
Uh,
here.
that's,
Oh, actually, I found my place here. What would you say is the most important thing Azul has done so far?
uh, huh. So it's like killing Tyrion was pretty important. That has
Yes.
had the farthest reaching consequences is the cult.
Mm-hmm.
Like other than that, he really hasn't. Other than cult. Oh wait, I remember. The most important thing he's done thus far is keep Valem from swallowing.
Keep Valen from swallowing the world.
Yeah,
Uh, yep.
that's ironically the only reason that Valem hasn't swallowed the world. If he does, will be.
Yep. Because Azul keeps him in check, keeps an eye on him.
There's just again very.
Very
But
what?
other than that, I said very
Yeah, very
out.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's probably the thing that's had the
Yeah, the
farthest reach
most. Mm-hmm.
consequence
Yeah.
establishing Alton.
Yeah, establishing the cult and keeping Valem in check, and then helping stop Tyrion.
Yeah, because other than that, he hasn't really done anything. In fact,
Yeah.
after that, what he basically did was go take.
Yeah. Could you repeat that for me? You kind of cut out there.
After the end of the campaign, after he kills, basically goes
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of travels around.
Ah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, traveling is something.
Yeah, but like he hasn't really done it.
Yeah. No, I don't think. I mean, did the party really do too much after they defeated Tyrion?
Well, let um 3 out of 5 people all became leaders of nations.
Yes.
So like that's kind of important, relevant. They all did that
Yep.
after killing Tyrion. Xander didn't do a lot. He
Yeah,
just also
Xander. Yeah,
communication.
he kind of just went about his own stuff, and then I mean, he
Like
became
sometimes,
too, like eventually.
yeah, yeah, but he's still kind of like palling over the
Yeah.
world, his own mortal thing.
Hmm. Yeah. So in our last campaign, three of the characters ended up being major rulers of kingdoms, and the other two ended up being gods. So everyone became super powerful at the end of the campaign, and very important.
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. Next question. If your character had to, if Azul had to fight any of your other characters, which one would it be and why? I could expand this to other characters in the party as well. Um,
Okay, so like that's
but if
probably
you,
if a fight
mhm,
another character from the old campaign,
yeah,
Xylon. He is
Xylon.
a pacifist and he would never see it coming. I could get in 4 hits before he even blinked. So I feel pretty comfortable about my ability to take out Xylon.
Yeah, I like that
And,
answer.
and if it's someone in the current party, Scully, because Scully works for him. So like I can if he
Yeah,
doesn't. like, take his beatings gracefully. I'll
Just like banish him or like
yeah. I mean, he's not gonna fight me because like
yeah, you're
nobody.
literally his god.
Yeah,
Like I mean, what are you supposed to do in that situation?
I think you just sit and take your licking.
Yep. And then about NPCs, is there any NPC that he'd want to fight from
Would
either old campaign or new campaign?
uh, new campaign now. Pretty much took care of all the ones I felt like to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no, old campaign. Either way, it was the old campaign. New
Okay.
campaign. There's a list. There's Dimitri. He might want to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Is he right
Uh,
now? There's Woodbone. Woodbone, definitive threat to he cares about. So
yeah.
we fight him. Casimir, a brat, and
Yes.
would definitely fight him. Also, was a legitimate threat to cared about. So
Yeah, Casimir was a legitimate threat, and I
um,
don't know how Tin would react to you killing him
well,
though.
that's you see, that's the thing. If he could be killed without consequence,
Azul would
absolutely,
have done it.
yeah. If I could just like erase him from existence, that would
Yeah.
have been because not only is he legitimate
Mm-hmm.
about me, was what I was. He also tried to seduce Azul's daughter while going out with someone else,
Yes. I do vaguely
and
remember that from the role.
that does not actually endear a guy.
No, definitely not. You kind of cut out there. Can you hear me? Hello?
I feel like
Oh,
I can't.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you cut out
Yeah, I can
there. The
hear you.
last thing I heard was Casimir tried to seduce Azul's daughter, and that didn't really
Yeah.
put him in Azul's good
Well,
graces.
yeah. If it had been an honest like attempt, and it would just been Azul would have like it would have been he would have kept his eye on him because he doesn't
Mhm.
seem totally well,
Mhm.
but it wouldn't have irritated since he's actively also going out the post.
Mhm.
Really, really ticks off a god who is heavily
He was heavily
focused on loyalty.
ah. Yeah, it does make sense as he is. I guess at this point he
That's
is
like
technically married.
yeah, and that's like one of the things would not be.
Yes. Yeah, I can see how that definitely wouldn't sit well with Azul. I mean, he's a genuine threat. The whole trying to seduce his daughter bit, and then was there another reason you had mentioned there?
Oh, he's just kind of being a brat. Like I wouldn't kill him for being a brat, but I would absolutely.
Beat him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna kill him for brat, lots, but
yeah, I can see that. I'd also like to say like the whole like wiping people from existence thing. I feel like everyone you've listed so far would probably have a lot of consequences if Azul were to do that for any of them. I'm just
that
throwing
is
that out
why
there.
I struck him down.
Yeah.
Uh, there's
All
of
right.
course like guys in uh the white flower or the and or whatever fangle themselves
Yeah, the
these
white
days.
flower.
Yeah, but like it's not. Again, they'll sort themselves out.
Yeah,
It does require my.
yeah. I think like that's probably below like Azul's
I
um
got
pay
Scully
grade.
on it unless he dies, at which point I'll no
Yeah,
one.
you'll have to find someone else for that if Scully dies.
I have.
I feel like Azul's probably most pressing concern now would be the kind of like subcult that he has going on where it's goblins just
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
I would
murder
would
everyone.
actually like slap all of them,
Yeah,
but that's a
yeah,
little more messy and
yeah.
technical.
I mean, they are kind of responsible for the death of Tin.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
You'd probably be like, well, you could probably justify wiping all of them out. Not,
Yeah, but like Kaz,
yeah.
I'm gonna let Kaz. Azul is a bit.
Azul doesn't like Kaz.
Um, well, Kaz is on his list. He's not gonna kill him because, like, again, it would upset Tin, and does like he makes happy, which is good,
Hmm.
but he also like upset her. She was also at marriage counseling, so
Yes.
um,
I mean, they were both at marriage counseling, so at least he showed up.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
Ken
he
probably
hasn't like
hid him, but
necessarily owned death, but no, I'm not completely. Azul's not. He
yeah, I
wouldn't
feel
kill him,
like that
even
might
if,
start like a god war if you were to kill Kaz.
yeah, like even if I had the option to kill him, absolutely, 'cause
Hmm.
he would. Azul wouldn't actually do that
Yeah.
because Kaz has a positive effect of
Hmm.
fear, which means that getting rid of him, while it would have no negative, it would get rid of that net positive.
Yes, it
Woodbone
would. Hmm.
or Kaz, they are far enough removed from,
Yeah,
like
they're.
even though it, like like in ordinary circumstances, and if I kill,
Hmm.
have actually no proof that Casimir made, and so I feel comfortable. Azul would feel comfortable making that judgment,
Yeah.
wiping.
Mm. Good to know. Good to know.
Yet don't give me magic things that allow me to kill things. I
Yes.
will.
Yeah, I learned that from the Goblin cult, where I gave you a magical
Yeah,
newt. Like,
yeah.
do
Anything
not
you give,
give.
I
Yeah.
will use. Okay.
Yes. I'm aware. I have I have learned my lesson. I mean, I didn't expect you to not use it,
Yeah,
but
you just didn't set it
yeah,
off.
yeah, I just set it off like immediately.
Yeah, I think the nuke was supposed to be in another city entirely.
Yes.
That
At
was
some
technically my orders, but
yeah.
we did not. I did not listen to that because I was a
Yes.
goblin cult.
Yep.
We did our own thing.
That is entirely fair. That nuke was eventually supposed to end up somewhere else, but it served its purpose. Like it's completed its goal, which is killing a lot of people for certain story reasons that may or may not be linked to um what was it, a prophecy that I'd read off at one point in the
Yeah,
campaign.
that was
That
so.
was
I
a long time ago.
a crazy experience for you, but that was it was hilarious. I told you that,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that
dawning horror as everyone realized that I brought it through.
yep. It's too bad that was part of the eve
That was
campaign,
chaos.
so we didn't record it. People probably would have
Yeah,
gotten the kick out of all the chaos.
yeah. Still, enough about
Alright.
Eve.
Yep. Enough about all that. We've kind of gone on a bit of a quite a bit of a tangent there, bringing up a lot of different important stuff. So let's move on to the next question here, which is focusing on Azul again. What was Azul's motivation to join the party?
Um, so originally, ignorant approaches. We've done a few jobs together.
Hmm.
The motivation for that was always money
Yep.
because he comes from emotion. Got me. So then Ignis approaches the party and help me take back my capital, pay you, and Azul. Part of his mercenary code is you take a job, you finish it.
Hmm.
And Azul doesn't really know them. It's like, I'll do it on a trial basis, but I'm not going to officially take the job. And then
Yeah.
we end up finding out that the world's going to, and by that point, we've been for a while. Azul
Hmm.
realizes he doesn't trust any of these people.
He doesn't
And so,
trust any of these people.
to actually carry out a plan that will work. So,
Referring to the rest of the party?
yeah, Tin is chaos incarnate. Xylon is a pacifist and barely it doesn't have like any experience in the world at all. He's basically
Yeah.
a novice in everything. So he's out. Ignis is good 90% of the time at this, but if he
Hmm.
encounters something that sets him off, he loses all sight of reason.
Hmm.
And Xander, A, never took a very deep part in making, seems much more of a follower,
Hmm.
and B, occasionally had this thing where he like lost control of himself, went attacking till all of his um
Yep.
dead, his whole god thing.
Yep.
And so none of these people uh, can be trusted to make a stable and stick to a stable plan. And so the world's going to end. I don't really have a choice. I have to, and then along the way, I decided
Yeah.
that actually all of these people were okay and
Yeah.
actually be somewhat upset if they all died. Probably
Yeah. So
too.
it's
But
probably
it started out as I can't trust any of these people to actually.
to actually save the world.
They're gonna mess up plans. I
Yeah.
got a
I
plan.
can't trust any of these idiots to save the world. I
I
need to
mean,
let them
they're
do it
all nice
myself.
enough. They're all reasonably competent, but
Yes. That is fair.
yeah, his that the not being able to trust people
Hmm.
a heavy process. And the reason that even the time did make a plan when other people made, and I had a secret plan.
Yeah. Yeah, you do tend to make a lot of secret plans.
It's
I'm
because
usually the last one to find out, even as the DM.
well, I try to make.
Yeah.
They
I was
all
just
kind of
giving you
constructed
crap
very.
there.
Yeah, I think. To
Yeah.
be fair, some of them were constructed very rapidly.
Yes,
The time I sent in with the necklace of fireballs, I mean, I
mhm.
had it. I was going to use it. Somebody was going to.
Yeah.
I didn't trust. I knew the drow were going to betray us.
Mhm. You didn't
That
expect
was
it
the
to
other
go
thing
the way it.
he expected
Mhm.
outside of the party. It was all in the name of being. But yeah, no, I expected them to betray us. There's no reason for them not to
Yeah.
send tin in
Yeah.
balls. I figured it would actually.
Yeah, you didn't expect that it would lead to a fireball being thrown
I
and
was
like
hoping it wouldn't.
chaos and ensuing inside the city.
I was hoping it wouldn't, but
Yeah, fair. I mean, there was really like no way of avoiding the drow betraying you in that instance.
Well,
Because I mean, it meant too much for them to maintain control of that city and try and get the fragments of their god. So
that was also
that
where
was
we
what?
picked. That was also interestingly where we picked up Valen.
Yes, you picked up Balaam from some drow. Yes, it was like in some sort of laboratory, I think that they
Yeah,
had, because it was one of the sessions that other Nick DM.
yeah,
Pretty sure.
I think so, or at least one you plan heavily.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the ones where he planned. I'm pretty sure it was he did that session. And then there's probably a few other sessions that he definitely helped plan a lot.
Hmm.
He hasn't I haven't had him help too much with our current campaign, which might have led it to suffer a bit, but I've been trying to do everything, do more of it on my own. So eh,
That makes
makes more sense. Because then it's because if you include someone in doing that, you kind of you can't like not spoil things for them.
yeah,
You know what I mean? 'Cause, I
yeah.
mean, it's good to
There have
have
been some,
someone you can bounce ideas off of and like help
yeah,
like
there have been
plan
some things that
sessions.
like bounce off of people, but
Yeah, you don't want to give it away.
yeah,
Yeah. Right. Then it has already been 45 minutes here, so I'm gonna move on to the next question here. So hopefully we don't go into too many more tangents here. I mean, it's my fault to ask you a lot of questions that aren't on my list here. So is there anything you would have liked to have done with Azul before we ended the last campaign? Is there any like unfulfilled thing that Azul wanted to do before we
nope,
wrapped up last campaign? Okay.
nope. Pretty much got everything.
He got everything done. Azul's a happy camper.
Yeah, actually, by the end of the campaign,
Yeah.
at the end of the campaign, I was role playing very, very. By the end of the campaign, he was more than done. He was
Yeah. Yeah, you
saying
were done. He was happy. There's not too much
everything
more for him to
happy.
do.
Nothing more for him to do. Like I said, he have that.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, he's kind of already resigned himself to being the like goblin god, the gold giver.
Yeah, I had resigned myself to the gun.
You know,
At that point, primary goal was to make sure Xylon survived because he appointed me
hmm
as like steward, and if another heir found him assassinated,
yeah, oh, yeah, I remember that. Then you were steward, and then I believe Tin was made head of the Imperial Auxiliary or something like that.
yeah, she was given a high ranking position.
Yeah, I don't. Were so I know that you two had those positions. Is the rest, to your knowledge, was the rest of the party given any
I
position?
don't.
'Cause I can't
I'm not.
remember personally. I'll have to I'll have to ask Josh about that when we get to his character and when we do his like little interview here. Yeah. You kind of already answered this next question here a little bit, but if Azul could kill one NPC without consequence, who would it be and why?
At this point, Woodburn.
Woodburn? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't like done too much in the past few
Um.
sessions.
Yeah. So basically, whoever the leader of if they are pursuing Woodbone's goal of opening the vault, Azul
Hmm.
would kill them if he could kill them.
Sure. Could you repeat that for me one more time there? You kind of cut out there, so I only heard about half of
So
that.
basically, whoever is running, basically, if Woodbone's not in charge and Dimitri is, whoever's trying to open the vault,
Hmm.
Azul would kill them. Azul could kill them without consequences. He would.
Yeah.
Azul really only trusts one person to manage the vault, and he died, I think.
And who was it that you trusted for that?
Xylon.
Xylon?
Xylon. Yeah. As much
Okay.
as I gave him garbage as Azul in the campaign, and as much as Azul gave him garbage about not knowing how to take care of himself,
Hmm.
if there was somebody who needs to be given an all power, a vast amount of weaponry and power, I'm not going to give it to 10. As we've already discussed, Chaos Incarnate.
Yes. Yep.
And as she mentioned, she will go Power Man.
Yes.
Or she would. She had kept. She would have gone Power.
Yeah, she would have
And at
gone
some
power
point,
hungry
probably well
eventually.
meaningly stepped over a line.
Yep.
Xander and Ignis would both use it. Whatever is in the vault, they would both use it, and they would use it to try to help.
Yes.
But that, like, nothing we've seen of the old Empire has seemed particularly wholesome.
Yes,
And
that
this is
is true.
supposed to contain a bunch of old Imperial artifacts. And so,
Yep.
as far as the rules concerned, they should, and a bunch of money, which will just destabilize the even
Hmm.
further. So, as far as Azul is concerned, this should all just remain,
Very,
and nobody
yeah.
should do anything with it, and we should just leave it alone. It's all just safer down.
Yeah.
And so, if Xylon is going to be most likely, most hesitant to
Hmm.
actually, if you, I don't know if you said it or if you made it up, but if you're going to give power to somebody, give it to somebody who doesn't want it because they're
Hmm.
least use it.
Likely to use it. Yeah. That makes sense. Like,
And like Xylon never wanted to be the
yeah, he
Empire.
never
He
wanted to be emperor. Yeah.
never wanted to be Emperor. He's honestly fairly reasonable and for war. Like I don't think under Ignis will necessarily for war, as
Hmm.
long as weapon in of itself is
Yeah,
like
you think that
people
as
like
long as
the
it
Soul Stone,
have a
they
lot of,
will use it at some point
yeah,
to fix things. And that is a very dangerous path to go down.
yes. Isn't there
So
that
Azul just wants,
saying the road to hell is paved with good intentions or something like that? Like
yeah,
that's
that is,
probably what
and that is
Ignis
generally
and Xander would do. Is they'd probably make things a lot worse using those,
they're more likely to do it.
trying to make,
Xylon's opinion,
yeah.
yeah, it's like just so yeah, he just wants the vault
Hmm.
closed. Um, Part of the reason Scully trying to spread the rumors around some.
Hmm.
Scully's supposed to try and keep the vault from.
Okay, so Scully's gonna try and keep the vaults from being open.
That's part of the what he's supposed to.
Ah.
That's one of the secret things. He's not.
Hmm. And
So
uh, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
that's one of the things he's supposed to be doing if possible.
Hmm. But yeah, I can see why you'd trust Xylon the most out of the old party. And I do believe that he is dead at this point. I believe I did confirm that with Josh earlier that by the time of this campaign, he
Yeah,
is dead.
like I
But
don't really know.
he's, yeah,
I don't. Azul doesn't get
yeah.
how they really. He just
And I
That's
mean,
how he.
if he's not dead at this point, he's super old and probably on his deathbed. So he's not really in the position to be the one
Yeah,
to be entrusted with like old Imperial artifacts and possibly weapons of mass destruction or whatever else is hidden in those vaults there. And just to give people an idea of what we mean when we say that nothing that the party has run into from the old empire being particularly wholesome. I mean, the one person, Tyrion, the main villain of the last campaign, former emperor, tried to end the world, gain more power. And there was also these rings that he made all his soldiers wear that if they ran away or disobeyed orders, they'd just be burned alive horrifyingly. Just if they so much as stepped out of line. So there was that. So Empire hasn't really had a good image in our campaign so far.
they're also
They also what?
the ones who made the technology that I use to destroy
Yes.
both.
Yeah, the one that yeah, they were the ones who made the technology that you just used to destroy a whole bunch of people.
Also, our nuclear weapon powered by
Yep.
material. They're powered by souls of living creatures.
Yep.
Just to add to all.
Yeah,
So
all of
they don't really. There's no reason for me. Good idea to
yeah. There is a lot of Imperial tech that's like using souls and other horrible things to
did love this.
ridiculously overpowered. Yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say there? They love
I
their
said they did love their usage of.
yes. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they literally like trap the soul of Lil
Well,
to like try and gain more power and like make Tyrion become basically a god among men, which backfired horribly. That is still having effects on the world to this day, even though you guys defeated him in the last campaign. There's still a few of those fragments lying around. I think like at least I know there's at least one, two, at least two left. Probably bad I don't know that off the top of my head.
it's probably
It's probably what?
worse than I do.
Yeah. Oh, oh, so you know how many there are off the top of your head?
3.
Three. Okay, I'm trying to. Wait, there's.
Okay, so this Kaz has 1.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I totally forgot about cat. Oh, oh, Madeline's gonna be mad at me for forgetting Kaz existed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's Kaz. I think literally, there's one rumored to be in a vault. Um, and then the third one would kind of be spoilers, but spoilers, it's with Nikus, which was the character I played with last campaign. So eventually the new party will probably run into him at some point. Probably. Hopefully that isn't too much of a spoiler.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
sure.
yeah, I don't think that's too much of a spoiler. Alright. Hmm. Okay. Alright, so that was all like a tangent from the question if your character could kill one NPC without consequence, right? That was the last question we asked?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So then next question here. If your character was told there was 1 month until the world ended, how would they react? So how would Azul react if he found out the world was gonna end in a month?
He'd move.
He'd, I mean,
I
that's a good
mean,
answer.
he'd just go to a different world. He's not terror. He's not limited anymore. Like he'd move. So he's got a son and a daughter.
Yeah,
He'd
I
move them,
mean, yeah.
like them come home and move
Hmm.
them out. And other than that, he pretty much just go.
Yeah.
There's not.
I mean, yeah, he has like goblins as followers in other worlds. He could probably just as easily like leave.
Yeah. So
The
he just.
entirety of the Shattered Kingdoms would just go like poof, and it's just
Yeah.
like I'm moving.
He wouldn't stress about it because
Yeah, I mean he'd
like
miss
if
all of
the
his
world
friends though, right?
well if the world is destroyed, they're all dead. He's a
Yeah.
god of the
Mhm.
to solve that problem. You can just go hang out with them. Probably make his job waste.
Uh, but yeah, I kind of cut you
Yeah.
off there. What were you gonna say about Azul there?
So Azul's the god of the dead. He visit his friends all there. And,
Ah.
like them all being dead and the Shattered Kingdoms destroyed would probably make everything far easier. Like the gods all over other worlds,
Yeah.
you could just do normal gods instead of having to deal with this all day.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. There's a lot of like strange stuff that ends up happening in the Shattered Kingdoms. It's made for some good stories though.
Oh yeah, it did.
Okay. Sure. Alright, so now that we've established that Azul would just leave if the world is going to end, if
Yeah,
he could go anywhere in the world of Shattered Kingdoms for for a vacation, where would he go?
Case. I don't know. He might go back to it, stay like at his house to go
Okay.
if that's allowed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it is.
His house where?
He has a small house in.
Winter Grove, you said?
Yeah,
Ah.
because I told the corrupt governor that I would settle down.
Okay, that makes
He might
sense. I
also,
mean,
just he might also go like to the dwarven, go visit
yeah,
out,
that'd be good too, because I mean
or
he
he might
has family there.
yeah, or he might just wander, not really go.
Wandering work.
Like
Yeah,
if
so
he
you just
went
wander
someplace,
around.
people might find there.
Yeah. If he probably stayed, he might have to wander, because I imagine if he stayed in one place, eventually that place would probably end up being overrun by goblins, all
Yeah,
wanting to praise the gold
yeah,
giver. But yeah, I mean he could definitely stay at Winter Grove. I mean, it was rebuilt. I mean,
yeah.
it's had I think
As long as
I mean it's at this point I believe it's had two airships crash into it.
yep, two airships.
Azul kind of destroyed most of it.
Yeah, I blew it up. I'm
Yep.
not sure how widely that's.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing that's probably not very widely known, considering you own a house there.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
I
That
imagine
was actually
the
where I spent most of his time when he wasn't traveling.
yeah,
Despite the fact, like, Nick offered him a house.
yeah.
I
Did
don't.
he ever uh take him up on that?
I think like Nick just has a house for us
Uh
now, just
yeah.
hanging around. But I don't ever went
I
there.
yeah, I think I could definitely see that for Ignis, Nick's character. Like I totally
Yeah,
see him just as a prince, just making sure he has
Ow.
I think like one, like probably like four houses, just one for each of his former party members. I think
I'm not sure. He
am I doing the
definitely never.
math right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
are.
it'd be four, yeah.
I. Oh wait, no, it'd probably be five.
Five. Let's see. Azul, Sander, Tin,
Five.
Xylon. That's all of them, isn't it?
Nekas.
Okay, yeah, Nickus. Okay, yeah, so he probably would have made Nickus a house.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's
like I'm
probably
sure
five houses.
Azul stayed there.
Oh yeah.
Probably has a house in every kingdom. Now that I think about it, because so long.
What about Barul? Would he have had a house in Barul?
That's a tough question.
'Cause I
As I
feel like
stated before, he had
Barul
no
is probably the
best.
the like one kingdom that doesn't necessarily like the famous heroes from the first campaign.
Interestingly enough, Boo holds no animosity. Azul,
Hmm.
part of that is because he quite Balaam assisted in killing him, despite the fact that he ate all of toast.
Hmm.
But as far as we have established, Azul, like the Boo bears no special.
Yeah, no special animosity to Azul. It's just like what I meant is more of like all the other kingdoms like really like the
Yeah,
great heroes, or Barul's either indifferent or doesn't like the other
yeah.
heroes. It's mostly
I don't, I
indifferent
I don't
because
really
you,
know. I don't know if he has a house. I don't. I have general where he kind
yeah,
of hung, but it was mostly the Confederacy, like the
yeah.
Dwarven. I know he spent some time in.
Hmm. I mean, I could see Azul maybe having like a house in Tamar, which kind of became part of Barul.
Yeah, I
So, I
don't.
mean, I guess technically he might have a house in all the four major kingdoms.
Balling.
Hmm.
I just remember I have a baller slash
A bar slash.
in.
Oh, okay, bar slash N
Yeah, I bought it for 100.
for 100 gold. You
Remember
said.
in the Tin video, you yeah. Remember, so the time Ting got drunk,
Oh,
but Ting
okay.
got
That
and I
was
was confused. Yeah,
that
Nick
was
ran.
Nick ran it. I wasn't there.
Yeah, and so I so drunk and also
Hmm.
invisible,
Uh,
and I had the decanter of endless water. And I'm gonna spray everything. And the ball keeps like, please don't put
uh, and then
you
you
on this.
bought the inn
I
from Barkeep.
Yeah, it was simpler.
I mean that's one way of dealing with the situation.
And then yeah, I bought the inn from the bug keep out and all the doors. I was going to basically flood the room,
Yeah.
and then Tim passed out, so the problem solved itself.
Oh yeah, that's one way of solving that there. So yeah, I guess
Yeah,
you
so
probably would
I
have.
own a bar.
Yeah, so you definitely have at least some sort of property in each of the major kingdoms where you could probably stay if Azul
About
wanted.
I might actually that would actually be a good place to go.
The inn?
Yeah, because I don't think because nobody knows I bought that. That innkeeper doesn't really know who the heck I am.
Yeah, he
And
just knows that
Tin
he
didn't
sold
look
it.
like for
Yeah,
most of the and it was like a seedy, crummy bar in the middle of because I
okay.
went to go find the seediest bar. Said she had something secret she wanted, so I went and found the seediest bar I could.
Yeah.
seriously overpaid him to bought it
Mhm.
because there's two ways. It's like basically, if you want to tell someone a secret, you either go someplace where you pay a lot of money,
Mhm.
pay a lot of money, will always keep a question.
Mhm.
It was also the only time Ting got to use her other persona. That was when she was playing cards. Got her other persona got really angry
Uh,
through dumb luck. Kept losing, and that's why she got drunk. She kept
yeah.
drinking so angry that I mean, she started out drinking.
Yeah.
Azul and her were having some heavy conversations. Azul's views on ability,
Mhm.
but then she kept drinking more and more because she was losing that through dumb luck.
Now I'm regretting not going to that session. It sounds like a lot of stuff happened that
Yeah,
session,
we
but
kept rolling off against each other. I had no modifiers and proficiency at least in it, and I kept beating. It was hilarious and also
yeah,
kind of
I can see that being very hilarious. Yeah, I think I had like some big paper that was like due the
yeah,
day or two after that session. That's why I wasn't able to go to that because I had a lot of schoolwork that day.
yeah.
Unfortunate.
So if I had to go someplace, it'd be the bar.
The bar that
Man,
no one really
that
knows who bought.
knows I yeah.
If if Azul goes there, like there has to be like some future campaign where the party goes to a bar and he's the innkeep and just like
Terrible.
have that massively overpowered god just be the innkeep, no one really being aware of it. I think that would be an interesting plot.
You if you ever want
If I ever want to what?
to drop the party off at a bar in the capital of Tamea, you let me know.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
some
let
real
you know. That I'll have to I'll have to do that at some point. 'Cause I feel like everyone's going to watch this video, so they'll know about it. So I should wait until like another campaign where no one's thinking about it, and another campaign with everyone that we play with now, if everyone still wants to play when we get to another Shattered Kingdoms campaign. Then have like their new characters go to that bar, then have Azul be the barkeep and see how long it takes people to pick up on it if they do. I think that would be fun. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent there.
yes.
Yes, I think that's how it's been with all the character videos so far.
That's fun.
All two of them. The good thing is we have like two questions left, so we're almost done. I guess maybe three. So I have asked the one question. I had asked the one question 10 before, so I'll ask it to Azul here in just a bit here. Alright, so next question here. If your character could have one question answered truthfully by the all-powerful creator of the universe, what would it be?
This should be obvious, but the question would be why the goblin?
Why the goblins?
Yeah. I
Yes.
mean, like,
Okay, truthfully, it was the goblins because you paid them a lot of money and you rolled like a natural 20 to convince them to work for you. And then at the time, I thought it was funny, and apparently everyone else started thinking it was funny. So it's rapidly kind of spiraled out of control, leading to Azul being the god, like the goblin god, because he like paid a single gold piece to some very underpaid goblins. And that's like more money than they'd been paid in like a year. Something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, so it was just you rolled a nat 20, and I feel like for the most part a nat 20 deserves something that's like very good, kind of out there, like very successful. And so it led to the creation of a goblin cult, and then a religion, and then the god.
be fair
Yeah.
or something.
So I guess it,
But yeah, I mean, and I kind of always, I knew that was,
yeah, you kind of
this
always
just
knew that was the
all,
reason.
yeah, me as the person, but as character,
Azul,
this
yeah, that
all
was what
just
Azul would
spiraled
ask.
out of control. It
Yeah,
was,
I mean that's good. I appreciate that you asked a question that Azul as a character would ask.
yeah,
That is very good.
because that
I
is
mean,
like biggest mystery of a,
yeah, the biggest mystery of Azul's life, like becoming the god of goblins, the all-powerful gold giver. It started because he literally gave. It was literally just like one gold piece, wasn't it?
it was, no, it was a gold, it was a gold piece each he
A
got.
gold piece each. Okay. Yeah. So it wasn't in the grand scheme of things that much money, but it was enough for them to be like, "You are a god now." But yeah, it's like once they all started hearing about the half orc that was paying goblins handsomely, it just rapidly spiraled out of control.
Yep.
Yep. And then here's the question that I'm more intended for the new characters, but I have, to, at least to my knowledge and my recollection, asked it of the old characters so far as well. What is Azul's thoughts on the situation in Barul right now, with it being in a civil war and everything kind of falling apart to the point where one of the major characters you're gonna be meeting soon is a former like Barulian soldier turned self-proclaimed pirate king. Like, what is Azul's thoughts on all this? The like pure chaos that is Barul at this point.
Really care.
He doesn't care. Yeah, I can see
I mean,
that. I mean, it
cares
doesn't really affect him
somewhat.
that
He has
much.
followers
Hmm.
and it things more in for other people. But
Yeah,
there's not anybody in Barul who will be bonded with.
yeah. There's no, it's not like something that's really too bothersome for him. I mean, it's
Yeah, there's no one
sure
he actually
there's his
cares about.
followers there, and like Brule is somewhat responsible for the fact that those bombs that his cult used exist. So I mean, they're the ones who
Oh yeah,
recovered them in
yeah.
the first place.
He's a little, he's a little ticked off about that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was clear, but it's Brule like claims that they made those. They claim to have made those bombs, but they basically just like recovered the technology for it and completely repurposed it for their own use. Because it necessarily wasn't always used as a bomb, or at least it wasn't originally intended to be a bomb necessarily. If that makes any sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's no one there who he's overly concerned about.
Mhm.
There's no one. Well, okay, possible his
Mhm.
that,
Okay,
but
possibly feels bad.
it's possible that his daughter is in Barul.
Ah,
He's not sure where she. I know she was last somewhere.
yeah. If his daughter's
She
in
was.
Brule, that's not a great place for her to be.
He was in that general area, but at the same time, I trust
Ah, you
themselves.
trust her to stay safe?
Yeah, like he's mad at. He was mad at Casimir.
Yeah, mad at
He thought
Casimir for all
he was
of
mad
the.
at Casimir for. He thought
Hmm.
handling post were to happen with her, he
He
blew
would.
off.
Uh wait. Can you repeat that? Like, if anything
If
were to happen
something
to his daughter, he
were
would do
to
what?
his children, he
Yeah.
would wipe the country they were in off the face of the earth, make an oath.
Oh God. Yeah, I could see Azul doing that. Like,
That is why he was very reluctant to have
uh,
his family
yeah.
ability. And he knows this, but
Hmm.
eventually
Yeah. Eventually, he relented.
they're in the world and knows that he will, if something were to happen, extreme measure. He probably wouldn't act, but
He probably wouldn't actually do that, but he'd definitely
uh,
cause a lot of damage.
he would incite all of his followers to kill Booleans.
Yeah, that. I feel like that
And
probably
given the
wouldn't.
fact that a lot of them are shelter,
Hmm.
the temples of Azul,
Yeah.
there would be massive bloodshed.
Yes.
He would go straight up to Modem,
Hmm.
his once.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, if Azul is like going like straight up murder, then his cult is kind of won then, because that's what they want him to be.
Yes,
His little
but
like
he'll
sub cult
absolutely
there.
yes, but and then he'll wipe them off the face of the earth.
Yep.
Like that will just be like rocks fall if he dies.
Yeah, rocks fall. Everyone does. So don't piss off Azul is the the
But
main
yeah, he
point
would take
there.
every measure he destroy as much the very
Good, taking all the measures possible there. And last last question here. What is Azul's greatest fear? Like, what does
madness.
Azul fear the most? Oh, sorry.
He fears going mad.
He fears going mad. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
because
an
that would be
interesting
the
answer.
situation where he would not be in control,
Mm-hmm.
where he would kill
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yeah, he would kill people that he loves and cause a whole
Yeah,
lot of damage that he
he
really
actually basically
doesn't
just
intend
fears
to
the
do.
exact. He fears the exact where he just starts eating people.
Okay, yeah, so he kind of fears the thing that you were just saying that he'd do if his kids got hurt, where he fears that he'd just start indiscriminately
Yeah,
killing people,
yep,
going mad, and wiping kingdoms off the face of the map.
yeah. Because like once he started, it
Yeah.
probably proportion. Like why was
Mhm.
he stepped in all of
Yeah.
that? Gross. I mean, it may not, but
Mhm.
madness, discriminate, him going.
Yeah. Yeah, madness can kind of be indiscriminate. I
Yeah,
mean that
that's
all that
he's
power can kind of go to your head.
yeah, that's what he's.
Because I mean, like, look at how Tyrion ended up by the end of the first campaign. like how power hungry and just like completely mad he was before you guys murdered him. Like that could be Azul if he's not careful. Well,
Oh yeah,
Azul
it
has a
could be.
lot. Azul's a lot more powerful though, so he could do a lot worse things.
Yeah,
Because
so
Azul is like
that's
a full god,
kind of
and Tyrion was just part god.
what Azul is afraid of.
Yeah, he's afraid that he's gonna lose it, and then he's just gonna be there, and all that's gonna be left of the world is corpses, kind of.
Yep.
Yep. So now that we've covered his greatest fear and all the questions that I've had prepared here for you, is there anything else you want to say about Azul?
Are you showing I sent
Am I showing what?
the picture I sent you?
I will put that over the audio for this, so it'll be that colored picture that you sent me is what I'll be showing.
Yeah, so
You need to.
I feel like I need to explain.
Oh, okay, let me pull this up just for my reference because it'll be up for everyone when this comes out. But what did you want to explain about this picture?
He's got a chair and a couch. I feel like I need to explain this.
Yes, 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 you do. I think
Okay.
I remember the chair. I
Yeah,
don't
so
remember the cow skull.
the chair, like, so we go to this. We're making and we show up and we go and we fight some people, some stuff happens. Show up. Police are like, "Why were you there?" I was delivering.
Delivering a chair.
We don't buy that. Well, that's what I was doing. And so then we go to another house where we're tracking down one.
Hmm.
But we go to another house also. Everyone's dead in there too.
Yeah.
I pick up a chair. If anybody asked, I was delivering this.
And
The police
then
show up and
like,
they're like,
have
"What are
you
you doing
like
at this house?" It's like I was delivering this chair.
delivering
That
this? It's
blood and
great. Yeah.
legs. I was delivering it. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. And then
And
I
like
took
how?
the chair with me.
Yes, yes, you did. And how long did you have that with you?
Um, a while, because then we had to go and report to someone else what was going on, and the entire time I'm just carrying this chair around covered in blood.
Oh
And then I bring
yeah.
it back and I fix it.
Mhm.
And then I have like this is and you goblin who I'm putting in charge, you get to sit in
You get to
and
sit
so
in
that became like
blood
my
chair, the
yeah.
like head
So the
goblin,
blood throne as they were calling
the
became
blood.
like Duel's seat of power and like where the goblins sit his name, and so that's the chair. And
That's
yes,
just
it is just like a regular chair. There's nothing special about it except the fact that
because it's covered in blood. Yeah.
so the couch.
Yes. Tell us about the
There
cow
was a
skull, because I
yeah,
genuinely do not remember what the cow
there was a
skull
rich
was from.
guy,
Yeah.
and he was kind of and
Hmm.
he was eating the entire.
Oh
No idea,
yeah, he was eating an entire cow. Yes,
and
I
he was
remember
also
that.
going to pay us. So I didn't want to. I wanted to make this uncomfortable for him,
Yes.
but I didn't want to make it too uncomfortable. And also, as frequently happened with Azul, I was covered in.
Covered in blood.
And so, as he's talking, I interrupt him. Have your skull? Like, what? And I said, can I have the cow skull? fine. So I now have this skull
Yeah,
again. uh, When
yeah, I remember
the goblin,
that whole
the
thing
goblin,
now.
I make it into a staff, and that's now my official symbol is the cow skull staff.
The cow skulls. So then, like, somewhere there's probably like a goblin pope that has like a cow skull staff sitting on the blood chair. Is
Well,
that?
actually, the cow skull staff, the original,
Yeah, the original is what?
is with me.
Okay, it's with you.
Yeah, it's
But
like my holy weapon.
ah, but is in theory though, is it
Yeah,
possible for there to be like a goblin pope somewhere with like a little
I am.
pope hat and then sitting on
I
a
think
chair like
technically they're called the Mines of Azul,
the
or
mind
like the
people?
ranking. Yeah, because I divided them into mind, ears,
Ah,
feet, and arms. The mind were the leaders, like
hmm. So,
heads.
mm-hmm,
The feet, the feet were messengers chosen from the swiftest. The ears were spies,
mm-hmm,
and the arms were subdivided into two. They were the military. They were subdivided into lesser right arm, which struck out at my the left
mm-hmm. And the
home.
left arm defended home. So the right arm
Yeah,
beat people up. Left arm is
yeah,
defend your home and defend what's
yep,
yours.
yep, and that's the structure
Yeah. So then,
that could
like
belong.
the equivalent of like a goblin pope would be like the like grand mind goblin or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
I'm sorry, I just had that like image in my head now, and I like that image, like got like a goblin with a cow skull staff on your bloody chair there. I feel like that would be a good image.
Yeah, and then the axe. That's just his father's.
Yep, that's
There's no
just his
special
father's.
story.
He has no, yeah, there's
I
no
did.
special. I mean,
I
it's
didn't
kind of
kill.
special because it was owned by his father, but
Oh yeah, no, it's very special to him. But like, I didn't
yeah, it's not like,
steal that or anybody.
yeah, it's not really part of the cult or the religion that he ended up accidentally founding. Yeah, now that we've covered that and we kind of explained the picture here, is there anything else you want to say about Azul?
No, no, no. I've covered everything.
All right, well, in that case, I think we're done here. That was our introduction to the Azul character here as part of our series of all the old D&D characters. And once we're finished with going through all our old characters, we're going to be going through all our new characters that some of you may be familiar with from watching the main campaign that we're recording now. Uh, so that might be something for everyone to tune into and watch later. But we've kind of wrapped this up here. So I hope everyone has a great day and a wonderful weekend. Because we're filming this on a Friday. Probably not a weekend when you're watching this. Maybe it is, and maybe that works. But anyway, just have a great day, everyone. Bye.